Yo, what's up, Malaysia? Let's make some noise! Woo! You guys are not sleepy, are you? Alright. Well, my name is Alaa Bakkar, and I'm from Syria. Can anyone say my name? Say Alaa. Alaa. You guys can say Alaa. Oh, there are some Arabs here. Alright, thank you. And I'm actually a PhD scholar, so what I do is I learn PhD. But now I don't know what is your name, and don't worry, I'm not going to ask each one of you about their name. Instead, I'll ask you a different question that will help me to know you better. Say yes if you'd like to know the question.
Yeah.
Alright, well the question is, I'd like to know what is your favorite food? What is the best food that you really love to eat? Come on, can anyone share with me?
Pasta.
Pasta.
Pizza.
Pizza. What did you know? You guys don't like to eat? You don't eat pasta? Where is that? Oh, okay. Laksa, she said. What else? Banana. Nasi lemak. Okay, alright. Well done, guys. Would you like to know what is my favorite food? Would you like to know what is my favorite food? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my favorite food is pizza. I really love to eat pizza. Whether it comes with the chicken, beef, cheese, or maybe even if it's empty pizza, I will just eat it. And I won't share it with you. By the way, anyone in the house would like to hear a story? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Alright. I'm going to share with you a true story that might surprise you. In 1991, I was born. And I found myself joining a two-wives family. So growing up, I had a different life from yours. I had a lot of issues with my parents, especially with my father. And that hurt me a lot, and that became my pain. How many of you had issues with their parents? Put your hands up. Got one here. Thank you. Thank you. The rest, well done. So growing up, I had a lot of issues with my father that he never accepts me as who I am. Because I'm unique, you are unique too. He always wants me to become as he wants. He always dreamed of me becoming a medical doctor, which I really don't like to be. So growing up as a child, when you find that your parents actually not accepting you, you will start to look for other people to accept you. Yes or yes? Yes. And that's what exactly happened to me. Until honestly, I began to realize that I hated my family, I hated my life, and the worst is I hated myself. Why? Because nobody is accepting me. The issues that I had with my father, it's long until I kicked out from the house, or probably my father won't speak with me for 6 months. And during that time, you need someone to push you up. You need someone to guide you during your life. And at that time, I had no one at all. Until I get to manage and to finish my high school, and then one day, my father came to me and said, "Son, would you like to go to Malaysia to continue your studies?" And during that time, believe me, I had no dream at all except is to run away from my family and to have my freedom. And I was like, "Yes, Dad, sure, I would love to go to Malaysia to continue my studies." And back in 2010, I came here. And when I came here, I had a lot of negativity thoughts and a lot of things that probably you believe of. And something like, if I want to change myself, I have to change where I am. So if I want to change myself, I have to change my location. Say yes if you ever believe in this thought. Thank you. So when I came here to Malaysia, I literally looked like this. I did not know this will be shown in TEDx. So what I did is, I thought that if I came here to Malaysia, if I moved to somewhere else, I will be able to become the good boy that my father always dreamed of. So what I did is, I tried my best to pray 5 times a day, to do all the good things, and then I go and call my dad. I'm not saying that I don't pray today, but today I pray to myself, not to someone else. And I go and call my dad and say, "Hey dad, today I have done this and that." And then he'll go, "Alright, good job son, keep it up." But that wasn't strong enough to hold me from hanging out with the bad crowd, with the bad friends. Any one of you here is hanging out with the bad friends? Do you have any bad friends? Probably one day I'll become a TED speaker. So hanging out with the bad friends who actually taught me how to do a lot of bad things. And what happened with my father is actually happened again with my friends. That I had to do something to please them so they can accept me. And this is what will happen, you become like your default system. Every time you want someone to accept you, you will do your best. You will do whatever it takes. You will do whether it's something good or bad, smart or crazy, just in the sake of pleasing them in order for them to accept you. Until I looked like this. That was who I am before. You don't have to be shocked. You still have another shocking moments. Why? Because this has become my default cycle. Until one day, I got up from bed and I told myself, this is not who I am. I'm someone else. But I did not know who I was during that time. And at that time, the war began in my country, Syria. And a lot of families, they moved to Turkey as refugees. So I thought, if I want to receive something good, I have to do something good. So I flew from KL to Istanbul, and I went to the Syrian borders to help these family refugees. And I swear to God, for the past 3 months, I was literally useless. I did nothing at all. I didn't speak the language, I didn't know anyone there, I didn't know the area at all. And I was like, wow, what shall I do in this case? Because I thought that success will come from the first step you do. Say yes if you ever believe in this. Thank you. So I decided to come back again to KL to continue my life here. But this time, I came up and I had to please another group of people that made me look exactly like this. It's not weird. This is what exactly happened to you when you feel lost, when you don't know who you are. This is what exactly happened to you when you try your best to please other people in your life. And you don't know what is your why you are here today. So what happened is, one day I was scrolling down on Facebook, and then I saw this food poster, and it says, "We are cooking food and selling it to public to make fundraising for refugee families." So I love to eat, and I pick up the phone and call them, and I ask them like whether I can order the food or not, and they said yes, of course. So I had my order done, and then I asked them about the idea, like why are you guys doing this? So I love the idea because they wanted to help these refugee families, and I asked whether if I can join with them as a volunteer, and they said yes, of course. So the first time we went to this Iraqi family who had actually 9 family members with a single mother. We visited their house, and when I saw their condition, the place they lived at, the food that they had, I was extremely shocked. It's something like just blow my face and hit it on my face like boom. Oh my God, I really had a great life. I started to appreciate all the things that I have in my life, regardless of what happened with my father. And then from that day, the more families that I meet, the more great things that I realize and appreciate about myself and about my life. And 4 years later, I decided to create my own NGO, our organization that we actually believe that everyone deserves to be helped, regardless of their religion, the background and the race. So, but if you look before, like about what happened is how you're having this default system that I call a pleasing cycle. That where actually every time you meet someone, you have to push too hard. You have to overact in the way you talk, in the way you walk, in the way you dress, just in order to be accepted by someone else. And then people will look at you like, yo, you're too weird, what's wrong with you? So people won't like you, and they will reject you, and then you will lose your friends. And when you lose your friends, you become lonely. And you become lonely, eventually you will be depressed. And you repeat, you push hard again. But after I started my NGO and volunteering and helping other people and many people here in KL, we actually had no idea what to do. We had no project plan, we had no volunteers except my friends that I asked them to come and join me. We had no funds, no bank account, no logo, nothing at all. The only thing that we had is passion to help other people. And 3 years later, we managed to get for you this type of video. Let's play. So that was the video we have done in 2019, celebrating the new year. We brought 80 kids to Kidzania. That was in KL. So I want you to imagine what would happen when you find yourself, when you choose your path. Imagine if I chose to just keep complaining about my father, my circumstances that I had. I'll never be one day here speaking to you guys. So now I'll finish with my story. And now it's time to talk about you guys. I want you to pay more attention. To imagine with me that you yourself, each one of you, would be sitting inside this airplane alone by yourself. And you've been told that you'll be flying from KL to Dubai. And after the plane took off, in the middle of your way going to Dubai, you've heard the announcement saying, your destination has been changed. What would be the first question that come across your mind? Why?
Where are we going?
Where? Where are you going? So that's a question that I'd like to ask you today. Is where are you going in your life? Are you flying to Dubai? Or are you flying to KL? Or probably you're flying to nowhere? I know it's not easy to answer, and it takes a lot of time. But it will be good to start today asking yourself, where are you flying to? Because most of the people, when they hear about a new idea or maybe a new opportunity in their life, they begin to have the fear cycle. The fear cycle when you started by you will have no action because you are afraid from trying something new in your life. So when you have no action, you probably have no experience because you haven't done anything at all. And when you have no experience, you have no ability to try new things. And when you have no ability, you will have more fear to try new things in your life. But let's say you decided to take the confidence cycle that I really love to do, where you actually take action, and when you take action for any opportunity, you take it whatever it takes, whether it has failure with it, it has bad experience with you, you don't care about it, you just do it. And then you learn from your mistakes. So when you take action, you will have more experience, and when you have more experience, you will have more ability, and when you have more ability to try new things, you will have the confidence to come over to this stage and share about your past and share about your mistakes. There is another example that I'd like to give you. Imagine this is your lifeline, and here where you're born, and at the end of the line where your death time is. So when you take the first step and you see there is opportunity comes in your way, and you see there is a failure behind of it, so you skip it. And you go to the second step, opportunity comes in your way, you see a failure behind of it, you skip it again, and when you die, you look back, you have done nothing at all. But let's say you decided to take the second lifeline, which is my favorite. You go the first step, you take opportunity, you fail with it, you acknowledge your failure, and then you go to the second opportunity, you fail with it, you learn from your mistakes. And then when you go to the third step, you succeed with your failure, you succeed with the opportunity, and when you die, you look back, oh my God, I have done so amazing things. So which one do you want? It's your choice. Because success doesn't require you to have a good parents. Success doesn't require you to be rich. The only thing that success requires you is to have passion and commitment, and to know what you want in your life. I'm not here to come and blame my father for whatever things he has done to me, because I didn't know what is his circumstances. Probably he did all the best thing that any father could possibly do for me. But I don't know what's his story. I don't know what happened with him. So what happened is, I had to forgive him instead of forgetting these things, because we cannot forget those who actually hurt us, but we can forgive them. And finally, I thought you would be interested to see this photo. Thank you so much.